there are a lot of people who this year are really discovering what spiritual ranking is. People who did not know what that was before are understanding what it is now. And part of the reason that they're understanding it is because of you. Okay? They are understanding that the reason that they cannot come up against you successfully is because your spiritual ranking is too high. All right? Only those who are tapped in and understand the difference between the physical realm and the spiritual realm understand that anything spirituality it trumps all. Okay, it really does. What's going on in the spirit matters 10 times more what's going on in the physical, and a lot of people do not understand that. You just have to be tapped in to know that. But because we are in the age of Aquarius and where a lot is changing with this world and a lot of people are waking up, they are understanding it. And unfortunately, some of those people had to learn the hard way because a lot of people, let me just say this. A lot of people serve different gods, okay? I'm not in the business of asking people what God they serve because I think it's very clear to see what God somebody serves. And I really don't care because I'm going to keep serving mine. You keep serving yours. That don't have nothing to do with me, okay? There are a lot of people who fell for the trap of thinking that if they serve a God that's more dark, they were going to get further in life. They chose to go that route because it's easier. It's not easier to serve the light side or the divine. That's way harder, okay? And you're going to earn it. God is going to make you earn a lot of things. Over there, yeah, you're going to earn things, but you really don't have to do too much. Like, it's pretty easy to gain dabbling in darkness. Like, let's just be real. You don't have to dabble in darkness to know that, okay? And a lot of people were tricked into doing things against you, the viewer, and other people that were not righteous and were just evil things, okay? We're not talking about gossip. We're talking about, like, these people thought they could sacrifice you type thing, okay? Stuff like that really does happen, especially now, okay? These people thought they could sacrifice you or they could destroy you, take your life from you, all types of things, okay? That these people were convinced that they had the power to do. And in the midst of them doing that, and I always tell y'all that the enemy knows who you are and the enemy knows your ranking and he knows if he will successfully defeat you or not. But that does not stop the enemy from recruiting people who he will convince can. Because if he can convince enough people that they have the power to stop you, those people will give their soul away to the enemy to stop you. And that may sound crazy. It may sound dark and deep and whatever, but that's real. Okay? That's real. And I know some people believe like the devil is your lower self and God is your higher self. Everybody has different beliefs. It doesn't matter. Okay? Even if for the people who believe that the demons, quote unquote, that are taking over the vessel of some of these people, even for those people who believe that person manifested those demons, it's still a dark energy that was able to control this person. So whatever you believe in, it doesn't really truly matter. All of it comes back to the same thing. And at the end of the day, the enemy, whatever this dark, the enemy, whatever this dark entity was able to successfully recruit people he knew was going to lose. That doesn't matter to the enemy. To the enemy, that's a win-win because either they're going to get you, which they can't because you're covered by God, or they'll get 3 more people they were able to recruit who already had now. Nobody forced these people to think this way. They already had some type of envy and hate and jealousy towards you to begin with. If he's able to get 3 people to come up against you, he still wins. That's what the enemy does. The enemy a lot of times will put itself in a position to have win-win outcomes like that. Okay. So basically, if you get what I'm saying. So yes, people found out the hard way there's such a thing as spiritual rank. And you can curse the enemy, you can curse God all day long because the enemy did not inform you that the viewer and this person you chose to come up against has spiritual rank. Why would they do that? If they told you, then you probably wouldn't have went against them in the first place. And that's one less soul. And they need these people's soul, okay? He needs these workers. He needs these people because his army is way smaller than God's army. God's army is huge. I know a lot of times it doesn't look like that, but God's army is very, very big, honey. Don't get it twisted. Okay, we deep over here. The enemy, that's why the enemy works the way that they do, because they need as many people as they can get. And he got some of them, unfortunately. That does not mean these people cannot redeem themselves, but that's a personal choice they have to make, okay? Because God did give us free will. But yeah, people are starting to find out you have a ranking over your life that they did not realize, because when they looked at you, you may have came from humble beginnings. You may have been through a lot. You may not even seem like the brightest person in the world, okay? I told you one of my favorite movies is Aquaman. And Aquaman, he was kind of like, he was the chosen one, but he was goofy. So in a lot of these chosen one movies, the chosen one is always portrayed as like a goofy person who is a little bit naive. Or in Hercules, if you've seen the cartoon Hercules movie, he was goofy, he was scrawny, and he ended up saving the world. So that is kind of like you are portrayed or cloaked to be someone who doesn't seem like they are about anything, or they have any anointing over their life, or they're of any importance. And that's just the way God is, y'all. This is the way he is, because it's a beautiful thing when you see somebody who had those humble beginnings, had a rough start, they had to step through a rough start. They are smaller. They're not as rich. They are targeted a lot. It's a beautiful thing when you see that person like overcome that and become bigger, not even intentionally come bigger, but become bigger than those same people that tried to come up against them their entire life. They defeat poverty. They defeat slander and lies. They defeat sickness and illness. They're breaking generational curses. Whatever it is, whatever assignment they have over their life that they have successfully defeated, that's beautiful. Because on the other side of that is a completely different person. And that person that they become, God saw that person the entire time. God wanted the rest of the world to see the scrawny, humble, meek person that didn't look like they were going to go anywhere in life. God wanted the rest of the world to see that. But the entire time, God saw you for exactly who you were. He saw you as Hercules with the big, strong muscles, the one that could defeat 10 beasts at one time and save the world. He saw that person the entire time. It took you going through what you went through for you to see it and for other people to see it. And I think that's beautiful, okay? And people are understanding, oh, there's levels to this. There's levels. And spiritual ranking is not just given to you. Like, yeah, if you're chosen, quote unquote, or you have a big purpose in your life, it's been written that this is who you will become, but you have to take the steps to become that. Spiritual ranking is something that's earned. That means you have done things. You have defeated beings. Like, you have defeated energies and you have broken generational curses. Like, you have actually done things to become this person. Like, you earned it. You can still think of that on a practical level. Like anything in life, things in life are not just handed to you unless you're a Nepo baby. And a lot of us aren't. Things aren't just handed to you. Most of us got to work for stuff, okay? And it's not about just having something to prove. It's just like, yeah, if I want to say this is who I am and I want to be stronger, I want to be wiser, I want to be more intelligent, I want to get somewhere in life, I'm going to have to go through some stuff. I'm going to have to learn some stuff. I'm going to have to fall a couple times. I'm going to have to slay a couple narcissists and a couple demons, okay? That's just the way life is. And that is why you were able to successfully earn your spiritual rank, versus these other people, because these other people were not willing to work for it. They just saw you and they wanted to stop you, one. And two, they never wanted to go the hard way, the way that was going to bring longevity. They only wanted to go the way that was going to give them that quick satisfaction, which is usually, those are the type of people who do join the dark side. They want the quick satisfaction. They want things in life to be handed to them. They want to step on people to get to the top. And those people are not want to go anywhere. I know it seemed like that for such a long time, but I really want people to understand this, and I need it to soak in. I need you to really hear me when I say this. We are in a completely different time. When us crazy kooky spiritual people say the pendulum has swung the other way and roles are reversing, like the flip has been switched, or is it the switch has been, I don't know. When we say that, we mean that. It's a different time. For the last, I don't know, however many years, yeah, the dark side and evil was having its way, but that's over with. And it doesn't mean that the world is not still going to have evil. I mean, look around. There's a whole war going on. It's a whole genocide going on of a whole group of people. Yeah, that's still going to go on before we get to this new place that we're trying to get to. But I'm telling you right now, good is going to prevail. First shall be last, last shall be first. Like, that is the season that we're moving into. So all those people who got to where they are by stepping on people and being evil and nasty and all these things, you are starting to see these people fall. I've been talking about this for like a year. You are starting to see these people fall. These people are falling, and it's not done. These people will fall, and they're falling because the energy on this earth is changing. Like, God has got his army. The light will prevail. I don't care what nobody says. So this is not the time to get anxious and sitting around like, man, like I'm hungry for money. I'm hungry for success to the point where I would do anything. And you got to understand, the enemy is strategic. So you got a lot of people right now who are struggling to pay bills, who are struggling to get groceries and take care of their families. They're having to choose between paying their rent and buying groceries. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things. Not everybody. Some of y'all are doing excellent, but other people aren't. And if you don't think that all of this is happening for a reason, you're crazy. It's a deeper meaning behind everything. So if the enemy knows that a lot of people are struggling right now, he knows he has the capability of adding to his army, because people get desperate. And when people get desperate to feed their families, they will do anything. But I'm telling y'all, as somebody who has been in that situation before, it's not worth it. And if you stay with God, not only will you be able to get yourself out this situation, you will stay out of it. Because the enemy is not promising you longevity. He's not promising you that you're going to be happy and successful forever. He's telling you, you do this, you'll be good for a little while. So you need to ask yourself, do I want to be good for a little while? Or do I want to be good for a long time, forever? Do I actually want to make sure my kids are good and my grandkids are good? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And when you ask yourself that question, there's only one side to pick, okay? Because one of those sides will get you instant results that will not last, and one of those sides will give you slower results that will last a lifetime. That is the choice that you have to make, okay? Sorry I got off topic. Either way, people are understanding, because of what's going on in the world, there's levels to this, and there is spiritual ranking. And the higher you move up in your rank, the less you can be effed with, okay? To keep it PG, the less that you can be messed with. Like, they can't get to you because of what you were able to endure. They felt like they were stronger. They felt like they could target you and come up against you because of whatever was going on in that little head of theirs. But now it's like, oh, none of this really matters, because I can't defeat God. I can't defeat archangels. I can't defeat a spirit team that I cannot see. I actually am a peon. I thought the viewer was the peon, but it was really me the entire time. That is the realization that people are coming to, okay? So I said all that to say, stay in position, because it's about to get real. It's about to get real good for a lot of people and real bad for other people. But do not Do not be confused. Do not feel like whatever you're going through right now is just the end. It's only the end if you say it's the end. If you're gonna say this is not the end for me, and I have more to come, and I'm still gonna stay with God, I'm gonna stay focused on that, your life is gonna be great. So if you can move through this season right now and think positive as possible and don't fall for the tricks of the enemy, I promise you, you will be fine. You'll be good. And not only will you, but anybody who comes after you in your bloodline will. Make sure that you find yourself on the right side of history.